gamers all around the world, I'm here to tell you about the new maps. So, if you're just tuning in on Twitch or you're watching this on YouTube, I just played about 3 hours, 2-3 hours on new maps. I actually haven't gotten one of the maps at all. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about my experience on the maps that I've had. Obviously, I've only played like, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 games, so I don't have a ton of experience. But this is kind of what I... kind of how I saw, how I perceived the maps, and how I enjoyed playing them. So, this map is Oxide LE, or Oxide LE, I'm not really sure. The one thing I'll say straight away is the minimap is very confusing. I don't really know where the paths are. Maybe that's just me, I don't know. But it looks just like a big pile of mess. Now, aesthetically, this map is very pretty, I would say. I would give it, minimap, I would give it a 0 out of 5. But the way that the stuff looks, the saturation of the colors, I would give it a 5. I think it just looks pretty, it looks clear, it's not too shiny, it's not too dark. Even the dark parts are very nice. So I know like this is something a lot of people don't care about. This is something that's very important for me to actually enjoy the maps, okay? So regarding the map itself, there's not a lot of dead airspace. So it's a 2-player map, bottom left, top right. There's not a lot of dead airspace. There's some dead airspace here, but it's very, very easy to defend the drops. There's some potential here with the siege tanks in TVT. It's very easy to expand because the natural has like a ramp going up your thing. So if you're playing PvZ, it's going to be very hard to, you know, die to all ends against the Zerg because ramp is always good. But yeah, it has a very easy to take natural. Third is a little bit farther away, but you do have these rocks that help a little bit. Overall, when I played this map for the very first time, I had like a 15-20 minute game. And I honestly felt like when I played it, that this is the map that I've played before in a good way. Like, oh, I'm feeling kind of like at home. I think it plays out nicely. I think there's not insane amounts of expansions, but it's very all over the place. And this is definitely one of the maps that you're gonna have like attacks on the left side and attacks on the right side, because the expansions are very far away. Like if you compare this expo to this one, you cannot defend that with one army. So I think it's gonna be a very dynamic map. It's very friendly to any kind of I would say mech play. There's some potential with like doom drops if you're a Terran player. But overall, there are quite a few attack paths, but there's also like these kinds of ledges, right, where you can put a couple of siege tanks and defend this side, right? So it becomes very hard for Protoss and Zerg to attack. Overall, I would give this map, even though it's kind of standard, I don't think it's like a copy-pasted map. Like even this, if you take this as a third, it's kind of open, but not really, because you have this little thing protecting it, then you have this little choke, and you have this little ramp. Even though at first glance it looks very open. So I'm gonna give this map a 4.5, but I did enjoy playing on this map. And is it gonna favor any race specifically? I wouldn't really say so. I think TVP is the matchup I played on this map, and TVP is the matchup I actually enjoyed quite a bit. Yeah, I would give it a 4.5 out of 5. I think it's just a nice little standard map, you know? There's nothing... is it going to be the best map we've ever seen? Probably not, but I don't think it's going to be vetoed, and I think we're going to see it quite often. Next one. Lightshade. So I think this map is from the same creator that made Nightshade, except this is Lightshade. So you guys know one of my most disliked maps ever was Nightshade. It's pitch black, okay? Pitch black. You know the movie The Chronicles of Riddick? It was recorded on Nightshade, okay? That just tells you everything. Now this is Lightshade. So I guess they have a similar name. I don't really think they have too much similarities in terms of map design except the name. I actually got to play 2 games on this map. One of them was like a 1-second game, and the other one was a game where it lasted 6 minutes because my Protoss opponent all-in me. Now, this stuff looks pretty. I think it looks pretty, right? I don't think it looks ugly. I like the first one better. How it looks. You have your easy natural to take. Not a lot of dead airspace, like pretty much none at all in the natural. Like even if you siege up a Liberator from here, you can get shot from this side. So no dead airspace, and I'm not a really big fan of those kinds of things, I guess. I don't think there should be insane dead airspace, but some I think is good. So this is your natural, you wall off. Now this is on a contrary of the previous map. You can all-in Protoss a lot easier if you're Zerg because there's no ramp going into your natural base. There's this one, that's useless. Your third is either this one or this one. Now this one is closer, but you're probably never going to take this third. The reason for that is I'm about to explain. So if you take this as your third base, you have this little choke to defend, and then you can position your army like around this area, defend your natural and this side. Even though it's a bit farther away, right? And again, no dead airspace, just none at all. Now, on this side, if you take this as your third, I mean, guys, look at how open this shit is. Like, even though I really like this, whatever this is this sand or something? I don't know what it's supposed to be. I think it's really pretty, but like, I don't see anyone taking this as their third. Like, it's just giga open. Cement? Okay. It's just super open. And then you're like, okay, well, that's just one base. And then you look at this base, and then it's like, what the fuck? Why is this also giga open? So, I personally have never been a fan of these kinds of things, and I'm still not a fan of this. I think that, like, these bases are way too open. Like, this is, yeah. And in the current world where, salt, maybe it's salt. In the current day and age where Zerg is dominating, yes, it's a little bit better recently, but Zerg still dominates. I think it's a really bad idea to release maps that are extremely Zerg friendly. This map was made by a Zerg player. I'm not sure if that's true, but it would make a lot of sense. There are a lot of attack paths, like here, there's like rocks you can break, more rocks, rocks, I mean, there's rocks everywhere at this point. There's also a lot of these, like, vents that you can put your Overlord above, and there's the Zerg and the Terran and the Protoss can't do anything about it unless they have a flying unit, which I also think is bullshit. I've talked about this before. Then there's these bushes, which again, whatever, they just add a little bit to the map, but they're kind of in a weird spots. I personally am not a fan of maps like these. This just reminds me of Zerg. Zerg. No dead airspace, you can't harass with Liberators, you can't harass with Oracles. Like, any kinds of drops is just not going to work. Lurkers are perfect for these kinds of maps because you have the high ground, you can siege up your opponents, so you can fucking do a 180 around their base. It's gonna be extremely hard pushing across this map. There are some, there are some good spots, right? You can siege up your tanks here around this area and then put your mariners down and shoot and stuff. But still, this kind of setup just favors Zerg. I mean, look at this whole middle part is just Zerg. So, from Nightshade to Lightshade, improvement in visual, but I'm gonna give it like a 2. Sorry, not a fan of super Zerg friendly
Beasty,
maps.
how do I get a girlfriend?
Not a fan of super Zerg friendly maps in a Zerg meta. That's all. Varen 100 bits, thank you. How do I get a girlfriend? Dude, easy. Just play games all day, every day. And then you just get a girlfriend. That's easy. Listen to me. If you want to get a woman, think about... Don't idolize, like, oh my god, I want this type of woman, and she's gonna be like this, and she's gonna be like that. Don't do that, okay? You gotta live your life, and sometimes being with someone that's different is gonna be better for you in the long run, and something you haven't expected, okay? What you gotta do is at least find someone with similar interests, right? If you're into NASA, right? If you're a rocket scientist, you probably don't want to go to, like, I don't know, someone that has no electricity, because you won't have a lot of things in common, right? But you wanna, you don't want to necessarily have the same things you love, but just kind of on the same wavelength, okay? You got to be understanding of one another, and just give it a chance, okay? Give it a chance. Even if you find someone that you're just like, she's just, I really like her personality, but she's just not my type, give it a chance, bish, okay? Thank you. All right, that's gonna be $200 for that love advice, because I just got you married, basically. Anyway, this is Romanticide LE. I think that's the map name. Nice TED Talk, thank you. So this is, I mean, we're talking about, you know, girlfriends, and this map is called Romanticide. I don't know if that's a coincidence, but... So I played on this map. I gotta say, the visuals, not great, okay? So I talked about this earlier when I was playing. It's like, the map's dark, but it's bright. Do you see what I mean? It's like, look, this is dark, right? But it's so bright. The saturation on this map is just off. I personally am not a big fan of these pink flowers and crystals, and like, I've seen maps like these before. I don't like that. Then there's more salt areas here, and again, look how bright it is. It's the saturation. Contrast is too high. That's right. So, yeah, you have your natural here. There is some dead air space, not a lot, but there's some. You know, you can put something right there. You can put something right there. Oh yeah, this is the map that has good airspace. So you can harass with quite a few different sides. This, like, for example, this expansion is open, but there are some things to protect you, right? So a ramp, a little bit. But at the same time, this wouldn't be your third. This would be your third base. And the opening to your third is like on this side, and then opponent can mine through these and kind of get in. But this is much more, a much friendlier map for Protoss and Terran players than it is for Zerg. And that's what we need. See, there's dead airspace. You can harass with Liberators no matter what expansion it is. These kinds of like a little bit forward expansions are much better for Terran and Protoss. Because, for example, you can... Let's say you're playing on the top left side, right? If you manage to secure this expo, you're kind of securing this whole area. Because you can put siege things there, you can put Liberators, and it's on high ground, and yada yada. So there's a lot of these doodads with minerals and rocks and more rocks and doodads. Gameplay-wise, I had like most games in this map, but they kind of went short. Not because of the map, it just went short. But I don't think this is a bad map. I think this is a map that's going to be played for sure. It is quite big, and once you're past your first 4 or 5 expos, these expos are kind of pretty far away. Oh, I really like this. Oh, that's cool. I haven't seen this. That's kind of cool. It looks really out of place, I feel like. Like just random wood. But I like it. Oh, there's some more here. Look at that. But yeah, I would give this map a high potential. Let's say that. I think it has high potential because you can do some kind of pushes if you're, you know, Terran with like siege tanks here and then shell from the other side, and then Zerg's gonna need to mine through those, and Protoss. So I think there's a lot of interesting things that can happen. You can maybe siege up from here, do some drops on this side. You know, like if you take this expo, you're risking getting siege underneath, yada yada. But if I gave the other map a 4, 4.5, let's say the first map was 4.5, I would give this one a 4, honestly. I think it's gonna be a decent map. Is it gonna be the best map ever? Nah, but it's a map. So, you know. Now the last map is the map I actually have not played at all. It's called Okay. So I played ladder for a couple of hours. I have not seen this map. I don't know if people are vetoing it. I don't know what's happening, but we're about to find out together. Are these out of 10? No, out of 5. People are saying it's too greenish. Alright. Maybe if you take green color, it's gonna benefit you. You get a little advantage. It looks interesting. I don't know what these fans are in the middle. Do they blow dry your... Oh god, is it like the speed zone or the slow zones or...
We don't have enough now.
What's going on?
Okay. Okay, 5 for the looks. I'm just straight away. 5. It's simple. Like, look at this. I feel like it's just simple. Like, why do we have to have these, like, pink trees and diamonds and birds and sharks through the air and, like, glowing shit on the map? Like, this is so simple. Can I... You know what I mean? Like, can I focus on the gameplay? Do I have to, like... I'm looking here, there's some shit is shining and it's just like a random bird on the ground or something like that. Like, can we just have... Look, it's so simple. Look at that. Simple main base. Wow. A little bit on the outskirts, you know, a little bit of gold stuff, sure. A little bit of water, right? Okay. Then it transitions into different layer, which is like green stuff. And you know what? The map that I said that I give 5 for aesthetics, I give it a 4, I give this a 5. We haven't had a map that just looks simple in so long. Like, legit guys, we haven't had a simple map in so long, like aesthetically looking. And I like this. Can you blink here? No, you can't. That'd be cool though. Then that'd be cool actually. Alright. So not a lot of dead airspace. There's some dead airspace here, but not necessarily behind the main bases. Let me see what these zones do. So you got your natural there. Okay. Your main is right here. See, this is a Terran player made this map. You know how I know this? Because it only has one blink in point. This guy went out of his way, or a wayman, I don't know, out of his way to make it so that you can only blink in one spot. Whoever made this map was tired of Protos's shit blinking into his main base. He literally made water so you can't blink in. I like that. Now, what are these things? So this is your natural, okay? You can take this as your third. This is a very viable third. Super viable. And then also this is your viable third. Now this is interesting. There's actually an insane amount of open space in front of your natural on the high ground. I don't think I've actually seen this before. Like you see, you can wall off here, right? Like wall off.
Build there.
But then there's so much open space. So even if you take this one, there's still a lot of open space. That's something that I don't think I've seen before. I've seen it in front of the thirds, in front of the, you know, fourths, but not in front of the natural. So I think this is probably going to be a safer third to take. But actually this might be a safer third to take. Yeah, I think this is going to be a safer third. Then you can put your tanks here, siege up. Oh, I love this. Okay, I don't know why, but these kinds of expansions, I love it. Okay? Like, this thing, right? This reminds me of Brood War. So, it has one entry point, right? So you can take and expand. And then you can wall it off like this. And that shit's so hard to break. And I love that. These kinds of maps existed in Brood War. A lot of the Brood War maps had this, where in the corner you had an expansion like this. One entry point, the ramp was even smaller. It was like a main base ramp. And you just take it, and it was so hard to break that you needed to actually commit quite a bit. I like that. Very nice. Next. There's some shrubbery here. Okay. Okay, what is this though? Increases...
Yes, sir. I'm going. Woo-hoo! Overtime. Yeah, whatever.
But why?
Yep. We hear you. Bad news?
Wait.
It's your dime.
Like, why, guys? Like, why do we have to have this? You know what I mean? I don't like this.
Big job,
Why not?
fellas.
Because it's shit!
Gotcha. Yeah. You're the boss. Move it. Yep.
I don't know, man. Even this expansion, look how cool it is. It's like a little expansion, right? And then it has some rocks, some shrubbery. Like, I like this. I like. Check this out, by the way. The buildings flying faster. Do you know that? Look at this. Do you guys know that? Look at that. I don't know. Like, there's 4 of these as well. Like, if it was 2, maybe, but then there's 4. Like who started this shit trend with the slow zones and the speed zones? Like, you know what would have made this map perfect? If there was like a mini gold base right here, like it's just tiny little, like maybe 5 patch gold base here and 5 patch gold base here, or just 1 gold base in the middle. That would round out the map so nicely. Why do people make this shit? I don't get it. Like, do you guys like these things? Or mineral only? Like, something, you know? Like, do you guys like these things? I personally just don't see the fun in these. I just hate it. It looks cool, but it's dumb. I agree. I mean, look at this.
You scared me.
It just looks stupid.
You're the boss.
And you know what's even worse, right? Is that this shit leads into your potential third,
Base
That's
under
hot.
attack.
right? Or fourth, doesn't matter. But it literally leads into it. Like, you can propel your units, right? Look at this. Like, let's say you're Protoss or Terran or whatever the matchup it is, and you're Zerg, and you just propel your Zerglings and you just surround everything and kill it. Like,
Yep.
I don't know, man. I'm not a fan of that at all. Like, I'm willing to give it, like, a benefit of the doubt. Like, maybe it's gonna be good. I doubt. I just...
In the rear with the gear. Huh? What's going on? Go ahead. We hear you.
I don't know.
Yes, sir.
I would say, without this... without this thing, I would give this map a 5. I think it... like, the way that the expansions are set up, I think are really cool, especially this one. But because of these things, I'm gonna have to give it like a 3.76. And I hope I'm proven wrong. I hope that this doesn't ruin the map. And I hope it produces some great games. But just why? You know? Why? I don't know. Alright. So what do I think overall about these maps? That last one kind of piques my interest a little bit. So we have Oxide again. Then we had Lightshade. Then we had Jagannatha. And then we had Romanticide. I don't know. Like, I think the maps are okay, but other than this one, I feel like we're maintaining and following the same trend of it's a map. You know what I mean? It's a map. But I think this one has potential in the way that it's set up. I think that the expansion placement
What
is
map
really
will you
cool.
miss the most from the last pool? THX Bud.
What maps were there in the last pool? I actually forgot already. Submarine? No, Submarine is in. Eternal Empire? I don't know. I don't think I'll miss any. Golden Wall. I'm definitely not gonna miss Golden Wall, actually. I don't know. I think that my favorite map is probably gonna be this one, Jagannatha. My least favorite is gonna be Lightshade. Oxide, I think, is gonna be a standard map that everyone's gonna enjoy playing. And then this one. This map reminds me of Nightshade. Oh my god, it is! Nightshade has the same layout. Wait, isn't Maras the girl that made Nightshade? Yeah, she made Lightshade, so she made Nightshade. This is Nightshade! Do you guys remember how Nightshade looked? Look at this. Do you see it? Look. 1, 2, 3. Then there's an expo here, an expo here, right? 1, 2, 3. An expo here, an expo here, an expo here. The only difference is there's also a base towards the middle. It's literally the same map. But this is what I mean, guys. Like for the past 3 years, we're getting this same thing, right? We're just getting the it's like, oh, copy paste. Like, I wish I was joking. There were maps. You know what map makers were doing? There were maps, right? The map is like this, right? Top left, bottom right. And then they legit turned the map like this, and it was in the map pool. I can't remember what map it was. It was literally just turned, and that map ended up in the map pool. There's a third on the high ground, and there's a mineral. I mean, come on, bro, but it's the same map. Seriously though, most pro gamers hate truly original maps that are getting what they want. Maybe pro gamers don't know what they want, let me tell you. I don't know. Like, I mean, Wings of Liberty maps were so much more unique. And yeah, some of them were giga imbalanced, sure. But the point is, they were unique. All the maps. All these maps are legit. You can just throw them in the same pile of, you know, maps, and you won't really know the difference. I don't know. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think about the new maps right now in Twitch chat and on YouTube. Are you enjoying them? Are you hating them? What is your favorite map? What is your least favorite one? And please give some dating advice to Varen with the Beastie. How do I get a girlfriend? Amazing. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you for watching. If you're watching on Twitch,